A lot has changed at Davidson since your last reunion. We're going to highlight a few new spaces on campus, starting with Lulabelle's. Lulabelle's opened in fall of 2017, named for longtime employee of Davidson College, Lulabelle Houston. Students come here for any number of things. Our most popular resource is our groceries. Our kitchen is very active. Students can come once a week to supplement their meal plans or their own grocery shopping. We also have a clothing closet if someone has an interview coming up or something happening on campus that they need a suit or a different outfit or even winter clothing that they need to keep for the season. We have that available. We have an academic resource area. Any student where buying a book is going to be a burden, we are able to secure that book for the student and let them keep that for the semester.
Tithing is a very great resource to have on campus. I use the grocery service almost every week. I also have used the book portion. It's hard for me as a student to purchase all the books that I need, and through Lulabelle's I was given the opportunity to receive a book in which I couldn't have afforded if not through this service.
There were a number of volunteers and people committed to making Lulabelle's possible, but none of this could have happened without Davidson parents Sherry Hemstra and Decker Anstrom. They made this happen. Thanks so much for checking out Lulabelle's. Now let's head over to the Wall Center.
Welcome to the E. Craig Wall Jr. Academic Center. My name is Jack Casey. I just graduated with the class of 2021, so please excuse my commencement tan lines. This building was made possible by a number of generous donations, including lead support from the Duke Endowment. I spent a lot of time here as a neuroscience major during my studies, so I'm very excited to tell you a little bit about the building. So I'm part of the lab team in Dr. Ramirez's lab, and we work with an Alzheimer's rat model in which we study the functional reorganization of the brain. So in patients with Alzheimer's disease, oftentimes the degeneration of the brain starts well before the symptoms present, and one of the theories is that the brain is changing based on what's happening when cells die. So we're looking at how this happens in the rats. We have a surgical room where we do our procedures in-house, and then we also have rooms where we do live recordings in the brains of the rats. So that's all been, a wonderful experience. And every day when I would go to class, I walk by the massive chemistry equipment. I know that the bio labs also have some really interesting and cool stuff that the undergraduates have full access to, so it's been great. One of my roommates is a poli-sci major, the other's an econ major, and we often come here together to study, and I find that a lot of people do that, where it's not just STEM people in Wall, it's really a good mix of everyone, and there's always a study space available here, and they're all beautiful with great views. I think they really prioritized that when they built it. Next year I'll be starting my first year at the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University. I know that a lot of the stuff I learned here in the wet lab, working with the rats, is going to translate into what I'll be doing in the future. Thanks so much for visiting Wall. Let's head over to the Hurt Hub at Davidson.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Smith-Brigham, Davidson class of '04, and I'm the director here at the J. Hurt Hub for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Davidson. The J. Hurt Hub for Innovation and Entrepreneurship opened in the summer of 2018, so we're coming up on our 3rd year anniversary, and it was made possible through generous leadership support from Jay Hurt, class of 1988, and Ed Van Diemen, class of 1969. So we like to say here at the Hurt Hub at Davidson that we exist to facilitate access and exposure to entrepreneurship and innovation. And in that capacity, we've had almost 700 students pass through our doors over the last year. Right now, we have about 15 different companies who are renting, leasing office space from us in some capacity. And then there's so many more companies that we have touched through our Gig Hub program, for example. We generally have about 50 different concurrent student projects through the Gig Hub. And the Gig Hub program is really about providing experiential learning opportunities for students, while at the same time they get paid to do work in the areas of marketing or web development or analytics or other things like that. This year, just like other entrepreneurs, we piloted a new storytelling platform that we like to call Hub and Spoke. And we interviewed over 10 Davidson alumni entrepreneurs, innovators, those in the venture capital space, really to provide provide more access and exposure, as we say our vision and mission are, to entrepreneurs and innovators. And in particular, we do that through storytelling. We believe that empathy is currency. And the more that we can showcase the stories of Davidson alums for our students, for other alums as well, really, we feel like that brings to life and humanizes what it means to start your own business and drive economic development. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We look forward to welcoming you back to campus and hope that you spend time with all of us at all of these new spaces that you've seen today.